When I first got out of prison, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if anybody would rent to me. I didn't know if anybody would hire me. I knew as soon as it came up that I had spent 19 years in prison, which at that point was more than half of my life, there was going to be some stigma. People were going to question. I didn't know whether they would accept me or not. But one of the things that I learned in prison is if I have a secret, if I have this thing that I'm ashamed of, have this thing that I'm trying to hide, it gives people power. They can hold that over my head. They can hold it against me. But if I lead with that, if I open with that, all of a sudden that cage of shame that I felt ever since I was a child, well, that's gone. Like, you can't hold something over my head if I lead with it. So I started applying for jobs and I started talking about my time in prison. I was like, hey, I'm a guy who spent all this time in prison. I'm a subject matter expert. I know about prison, know about what works, I know about what doesn't work. And these weren't the initial jobs. Initially, I was just trying to get something to kind of like put money on the table or put food on the table. But I said, in the nonprofit world, in the reform world, in the advocacy world, there's going to be a space for me. At the same time, it's not necessarily that easy because I do continue to run into people. I do continue to have experiences where people don't overtly say it, but kind of covertly or based on their actions, I can tell there's judgment. But the thing that I found is that when I face people one-on-one, like face-to-face, I don't get that. It may happen online. I get lots of crappy comments on social media. It may happen when I submit an application from far away or when I submit a proposal from far away. But when I sit down with somebody and they look me in the eye and they shake my hand, all of a sudden I'm a person. It's a lot harder to be prejudiced against somebody when they are a person in front of you rather than a number or a statistic or some kind of stereotype that you're able to put them in a box. So that's what I always tell people. I said, man, make sure you go, like show up, shake hands, talk to the person. Even before you apply for a job, get to know somebody there. Go walk in the door and like make yourself a presence, because once you're a person, it's a whole lot harder to discriminate against you.